I'm Amanda. It's time for the news on Razor's Top 5. How do you deal with a chemical and biological explosive, especially if it affects a wide area? What would help is a bird's eye view, and this is what the Singapore Civil Defence Force, or SCDF, is exploring in its latest aerial vehicle. This is part of the force's continuing objective to deal with chemical, biological, radiological and explosive threats.
This is the Civil Defence Force's Eye in the Sky, the latest weapon to deal with a dirty bomb, which is a chemical, biological, and radiological explosive. This 1-meter-long little chopper is remote-controlled now, but in future, all you need to do is enter the coordinates of the location and it will zip there automatically. Designed and assembled in Singapore, it will be a definite boon for the disaster and rescue personnel.
If there's a heavy release of hazardous materials and so on, and there's going to be a difficulty in accessing, this vehicle will probably help us in assessing the place first, giving us a situational picture of what's happening, and then we're able to assess how grave the situation is and so on.
This is just one way SCDF targets dirty bomb threats.
Currently, invasive inspection methods are used to determine if items in sealed containers are deemed safe. The SDF is studying the use of acoustic and nanotechnology instead. Acoustic technology can be used to examine sealed containers expeditiously, while nanotechnology can pave the way for the development of highly sensitive detectors.
The chopper will help in places like Jurong Island. Other new Singapore developments like the integrated resorts are also on the SCDF's protection radar. This is one of the reasons they built this vehicle called the Mini Rhino. With a height of 1.6 meters, the Mini Rhino is the new generation firefighting and rescue vehicle. It goes where other fire engines fear to tread, or for this instance, are too big to tread. It is much smaller than the normal Rhino, which is 1.9 meter tall, and it only needs 2 men to operate it.
What we carry within a Mini Rhino, it's 2 of the nozzles and hoses itself to be able to handle shop house fires. It can maneuver within very narrow alleys, especially in between shop houses in Chinatown and also some of the offshore islands, especially like Sentosa.
Both the remote-controlled chopper and the Mini Rhino are currently on operational trial, and the Mini Rhino will be ready for action when the integrated resorts open.
The 2 equipment are on display at the annual Singapore Civil Defence Work Plan Exhibition. It will be open to the public for the first time tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Civil Defence Academy. And the Natas Singapore Women's Everest team is on their way to conquer the world's highest peak. After a bout of turbulent weather, the environment finally cleared enough for them to continue the climb to the summit. The entire Khumbu region had experienced high rainfall and strong winds over the last few days. The first summit team has set off this morning, while the second summit team will begin a couple of days later. Now here's a look at Singapore in 60 seconds. The second round of recruitment for Ion Orchard will begin from now until Sunday. There are 1,500 jobs to fill, mostly frontline or senior positions. About 2,000 people have been shortlisted for interviews. An Indonesian domestic worker had her handphone stolen from the pocket of her shorts at Block 336, Jurong East Avenue 1. She was at the lift lobby when the suspect approached her, grabbed her handphone and fled. Temasek Holdings said it has sold its entire stake in the Bank of America. The sale was done by a series of transactions in the first quarter of this year. Preliminary estimates of the potential loss is a whopping $4.26 billion. And the famous Wagyu beef and Kurubuta pork from Japan have been given the green light to be sold here. But be prepared to fork out for these delicacies. The tasty Japanese meats start from $165 per kilogram. That was our Singapore Minute. Now back to Razor's Top 5. The Singapore Arts Festival opens today. The month-long event features 400 performances in 32 different locations. Making its debut in Singapore is Helios 2 from France. The 45-minute performance features circus artists, music and a fireworks display. The show will be held from today until Sunday at the Marina Barrage. Admission is free. Malaysia has reported its first human case of the H1N1 virus. The country's health ministry said the patient is a 21-year-old male student who had just returned from the United States on May 13. He is now in stable condition and is being quarantined at the Sungai Buloh facility in central Selangor state. Moving to crime, a man has been arrested for sexually abusing 3 young girls. Muhammad Sufyan Hussain admitted to 4 charges of abusing an 11-year-old girl, outraging the modesty of a 13-year-old and another 11-year-old girl. He claimed to be a police officer and pretended to check the girls for contraband cigarettes. If convicted, he could be jailed up to 20 years and caned. And that's all for now. If you'd like to contact us, send us tweets at Razor TV on Twitter or drop us a message via our Facebook application. Also, do email us if you have any news tips, photos or videos. Lastly, join in our Razor TV forums to share your views and opinions. Join us again on Monday for more updates.